Hello again, Knights Nation, and welcome to Season 4 of the Kingdom Podcast. And to get us kicked off this season, I'm talking to one of the most successful active Knights coaches. Of course, I'm talking about head men's soccer coach, Joe Fiedler. Joe, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, folks. Coach Fiedler coming into his 10th season, and on the men's side, a career record 122, 49, and 9, over 70% win percentage. And coming off of a pretty successful season, Coach, let's close the book on the 2021, talk about finishing as the national runner-up, that entire run, and the challenges that you guys overcame to get there.
Our team was pretty laser focused the whole season. We knew we were pretty good. The challenges were obviously COVID. There was a point in the season where we went 19 days without playing a game. We gave our kids just a couple days off, but they were really focused the whole way through. Obviously, it was a fun ride. It would have been a little more fun if we would have won, but quite honestly, we deserved what we got, and love to be number one, but unfortunately, we didn't pull it through.
Yeah, no doubt. It was definitely an exciting season. Talk about the difference here coming into this season. I mean, quick turnaround, as you stated, because of COVID last year, soccer moved from fall to spring. So now instead of having, some springtime to recoup, do a little bit of a workout and training, summertime, essentially you guys are going to have 2.5 months between seasons.
Yeah, kids are a little better at it than I am. I am just winding down from the spring, and here I'm right into the fall, and I'm struggling with it a little bit. But yeah, the problem is there's not a lot of time to go out and recruit. Obviously I wouldn't take our spring season away. At the same time, we didn't get to go out and look at players because we played till the very end.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a little tougher. Sure, it brings us a little national recognition, but it was a little tougher to go out and get players than a normal year. So then we jump right back into it August 8th, and what can you say? We're well on our way.
Well on your way indeed. Coming in this season as the 9-time defending Region 20 champions, of course, that national tournament appearance. You're returning 10 of 11 starters, if I counted correctly, and in our discussions. What can we expect from this group, and how motivated are they to make it back to that national championship game?
Well, I think they're really motivated. Literally 5 minutes after the final, they kind of turned to one another and said, "We're coming back." So the motivation is there for them to come back. Obviously, I would have liked to have a little more downtime for them, but I think they're very motivated. We have a bunch of new additions as well. So the spring, we didn't have as much depth as I would have liked to have, but in the fall, we definitely have it.
Let's talk a little bit about some of those individuals. Give me a few names of student athletes, both returners and newcomers, and let me know what we can expect to pay attention to this year.
So returning, this is a little crazy for me, but we have 4 returning All-Americans. Our goalie, Brendan Lemaster, a center midfielder, Marvin Martinez, and 2 backs, Koda, I can't pronounce his last name, and
Kuchizawa.
Ethan Stewart. Kuchizawa. So Koda is a rock on the back line. Marvin is extremely underrated. Very good players. So hopefully we do well again.
Hey, you talked a little bit about this a few seconds ago, but if you could just, expand on a little bit, um, talk about the depth of this team and how happy you are with it at this point.
So we brought in a bunch of freshmen, and like most years, freshmen take a little time to they take a little time to get acquainted with the college game.
Hmm.
We have a bunch of freshmen, whether in the midfield or the back line. It'll take a couple of games, but quite honestly, I'm really happy. Our team speed is there. Um, our IQ is pretty good. We just need to get the boys acquainted to the college game a little more. Um, a lot of kids are the best player on their high school teams, and then they come here and they're surrounded with 20 best players. And it's a little difficult for some kids to deal with, but we're getting a little better every day in practice. And as I told him the other day, the goal is to be the best team at the end, not the best team today.
Hmm. Is part of that acclimation process, do you think, the speed of the game?
Oh, absolutely. It's totally the speed of the game. The speed is a lot quicker. Um, you know, kids were playing in high school; they could dribble around people. That's not happening anymore. Um, you're playing with older guys now. You're not playing with younger.
Hmm.
In high school, if you're 18, you're potentially playing with a 15-year-old. Well, if you're 18, now you're playing potentially with a 22-year-old, and there's a big difference.
Hmm. Talk about a little bit the leadership of this team. You touched on Tuchizawa a little while ago. What other leaders do we have to look forward to this year?
Um, I would start with the four that I was the All-Americans. Um, Really, it's easy for a coach. We just tell players what we want to do. They go out and execute it, and then we tweak a few things here and there. Um, the great part of this team, again, last year and this year, there's no complaining. They just work harder. Kid makes a mistake, he works harder, and that's been the way. That's been a way for a while. So our team really works hard. Um, they have a definite focus. Hopefully it'll ring true at the end of the year.
Hope so, Coach. We hear a lot of coaches around the country, and if memory serves, you're one of them. That the ultimate goal is to win a national championship. Um, Last year, as we talked about, you came oh so close. How does that help in coaching up the team or giving that message now that you've been there, you've done that? Here's what we need to do.
It actually helps a lot because um, the returning players are now turning into somewhat coaches because now they have the experience. And um, I tell them what it is. Um, my returning players can say that's exactly the way it happened. And the new guys, got to get on the bus.
Hmm.
And ultimately, again, I think we're all on the same page, is basically what I was trying to say.
Hmm.
Everybody's in the same page, just trying to get a little better each day. And, we have new faces, um, new players to potentially play. We have new everything. The great part is everybody's just putting in their time and really working at it.
That's great to hear. I'm going to move on to something real quick for some of the new viewers that may not know this or not, but wanted to kind of publicly congratulate and thank you for your time as the head women's coach as well. For those of you that don't know, Joe spent 3 seasons coaching both the men and the women. Highly competitive schedule in year one, which led to regional district championships, 2 trips to nationals, and an overall record of 35, 17, and 1. What was that experience like for you, and how has it helped you on the men's side of the game?
Actually, it was a great experience. I didn't think I would enjoy it very much, and I really enjoyed it. Um, the girls are all about the team. They always have been about the team. Um, boys teams are a little more, sorry to say, a little more self-centered.
Hmm.
That wasn't the case for our boys team last year. Our girls teams, it didn't matter if it was Kara who led Division II in goals and assists. She was about the team. It really kind of helped me with the boys as well, because the girls team, you would tell them to do anything, they would do it,
Hmm.
as long as you could explain to them how it was going to help the team. That's one thing that I appreciate about the girls more than anything. Um, we had some really good players for 3 years. I wish I could continue to do it. Unfortunately, I have to work for a living, but I really enjoyed it. Some really great girls that bought into what we were trying to do. You know, last year's team, we made it to the nationals, and unfortunately, our depth caught up to us. We lost a girl right before nationals. We lost another girl in between the district and the nationals, and we were a little shorthanded. But you know, I thought we gave it our all, and the girls deserved to go, and it was really good.
You definitely didn't get any favors from the national tournament sites starting in Georgia with the women flying out to Kansas. I'm sure that's something you never want to do again.
It wasn't that bad, but I will say nationals in the spring, you know, on the girls' field, I bet you was about 110 on the field. And then I flew to Wichita in the final. I'm guessing it was higher than that because it was turf,
Goodness.
and it was ridiculously hot. So back in the fall now, we're going to have to worry about, you know, 40-degree weather
Hmm.
rather than, you know, triple digit weather.
Yeah.
So Georgia was nice. It was a great venue. The Wichita venue was very nice as well. No complaints.
It definitely, a very unique situation. Before I let you go, just had one last question. One of the different things that we saw kind of last year and the year before, even the way that you kind of mixed up the practices when you were coaching both teams, and we would go out there and we would see the women and the men intermingling in practice. For iron, obviously, obvious reasons. Is with incoming head coach of the women now, Steve King. Is that something you guys have discussed and will continue to do time to time?
Um, Steve and I have talked before soccer started. He's kind of got his thing, and I have my thing. We share pleasantries, but I think we're both wrapped up in our own teams at this point. I'm sure we'll talk more because we play games at same sites and stuff like that. Um, he's a really good guy, and I'm sure he'll do well. But right now with COVID, we have a few extra players, and we got to keep them moving.
Yeah.
So I'm a little more concentrated on my side.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I appreciate it. Joe, as always, I thank you for making yourself available. I know you're a busy man. Is there anything that you'd like to add that Knights Nation needs to know about?
Well, just to tell you about the girls a little bit. I mean, we made it to the nationals. Kara Dietrich led Division II in goals and assists last year. Riley Faulkner was an integral part of our team, as well as Caroline Warnes and Sam Wilson. I wish them the best moving forward. I wish that program the best as well. I'll be there for them if they need me. Ultimately, we're fired up about the season and ready to go. Hopefully, not overlooking anything. Hopefully we win the first one and move on from there.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thanks again, Joe. And folks, season opener at home, August 26th against Potomac State. Kickoff is scheduled for 6 p.m. Make sure you follow the men's soccer team on Twitter at CCBC Essex Soccer. You can follow the athletic department at CCBC Essex Sports on Twitter and Instagram. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CCBC Essex Knights, for all of our live home broadcast highlights and archived podcast episodes. Keep your eye also on ccbcessexknights.com for news and updates and the unveiling of our new website design, which is coming up here in the next few weeks. Thank you again for watching the first episode of season 4 of the Kingdom Podcast. For head coach Joe Fiedler, I'm Rocco Geppi. So long.